Welcome back to 8 Square Edu and the series in molecular phylogenetics. Today we are going to talk about one of the methods to construct a phylogenetic tree, that is distance-based methods. As we all know, when we estimate a phylogenetic tree, there are two main categories of tree building methods. One is distance-based and the other one is character-based. But we are going to talk about distance-based methods in this video. Distance-based methods are obviously based on distance. Distance is the amount of dissimilarity between pairs of sequences. So how much dissimilar are the sequences amongst each other determines their evolutionary distance. Distance is computed on the basis of sequence alignment. So we first align the sequences and then we calculate the distances, as I have told you before in the previous video where we talked about two substitution models, Jukes-Cantor model and Kimura model, and we calculated the evolutionary distances using those models. So distance is computed on the basis of sequence alignment. Evolutionary distances between sequences can be calculated from observed distances. Must transform the sequence data into a pairwise similarity matrix for use during tree inference. So it is very important that we transform the tree sequence data into a pairwise similarity matrix, like I mentioned in the previous video, to infer the tree. So this is what exactly happens in a distance-based method. There are two types of distance-based methods, clustering type and optimality-based distance-based methods. So in this video, we are going to talk about clustering type, which is the most common type of distance-based. Let's talk about clustering type distance-based methods. They compute tree based on a distance matrix starting from the most similar sequence pairs. So this is what we do. We try to see that amongst the given sequences, which two are the similar ones. We keep clustering them on the basis of similarity and we keep creating the distance matrix on the basis of that. You will understand this as we proceed further. So these algorithms of clustering type method include: one is unweighted pair group method using arithmetic average, that is UPGMA method, and the other one is neighbor joining method. So distance based can be of two types, clustering and optimality. Clustering can be of two types or uses two algorithms, UPGMA or neighbor joining. So let's talk about UPGMA first. Unweighted pair group method using arithmetic average, that is UPGMA. This method was originally developed for numeric taxonomy in 1958 by Sokal and Michener. This method uses sequential clustering algorithm. Sequential clustering algorithm. We'll discuss about it. It uses agglomerative clustering. We'll again discuss about it. What happens here is we join the closest two clusters and recalculate distance of the joint pair by taking the average. Average method is used to calculate the distance. We'll discuss it in the example coming later. We'll talk about the two types of clusterings actually. Agglomerative and divisive are the two types of clusterings. In agglomerative clustering, each observation is an individual cluster. Then at each step, we can group them together. So these are 5 observations. And then in subsequent steps, we can keep grouping them together, like 1 and 2 are grouped together and we can move so on. Then in divisive methods, all the observations are in a single cluster and then at each step we can divide them to form clusters. So we are already having one single cluster and in the subsequent steps we'll keep dividing them into individual clusters. Like one has been removed from the first cluster. So these are 6 observations now and at each step we are joining to form one cluster. So this is agglomerative clustering. The number of clusters at each stage is one less than the previous one. This is what actually happens in agglomerative clustering. So UPGMA uses agglomerative clustering. Let's consider the following example. There are 5 bacterial sequences under study, A, B, C, D, E. Step 1 is find the smallest distance between two sequences and cluster them together. So we create this distance matrix using the substitution models we discussed in the previous video. So we can use either Jukes-Cantor or Kimura model and we can calculate the pairwise distances between each and every sequence, followed by the construction of the distance matrix. So this is a distance matrix, as you can see. we will look for the distance which is the least in this matrix. So since A and D has a distance of 0.16, we are going to group A and D in the next matrix. So the new average distances, let's see, we are grouping A and D, so we'll calculate the new distances using average method. So we will calculate the distance of B with A, that is 0.57, and we'll calculate the distance with B with D, that is 0.68. So we are going to take the average of these two distances to calculate the new average distances for the upcoming matrix. So this is how we will calculate for C and E respectively. And if you'll see that how we have grouped A and D together, this is how it will look like in a phylogenetic tree. So since A and D has the least distance between them, we have clustered them together. That means they are the most similar sequences. So in step 2, we find the smallest distance between another set of sequences and cluster them together. So this is the next matrix where we have grouped A and D together and we have the respective members. We calculate the new average distances and we can see that B and C has the smallest distance of 0.23 and we group them together. Step 3, we find the smallest distance between another set of sequences and cluster them together. So here again we have the smallest distance. A, D and E are having the smallest distance amongst each other, that is 0.34. The new average distance will be calculated with the average method and we see that AD and E are a part of one clade as shown in this figure. Then we find the final set of sequences and cluster them together. So this is the last matrix you see, and then we see that ADE and BC there is only one distance left, that will be the forming the root node. So when there are only two clusters left, this completes the calculation. So this is how we have the phylogenetic tree. AD were the closest, with ADE was the closest, so they form one clade, and then BC were dissimilar from these three, so they form another clade. This is how a phylogenetic tree is constructed using UPGMA method. Let's determine the branch lengths now. While constructing phylogenetic tree, we assume that all the taxa are equidistant from the node. So branch length will be equal to the half of the evolutionary distance. This is the formula for calculating the branch lengths. So A will be 0.16 divided by 2. We have got these values from the distance matrix before. So that will be 0.08 and 0.08 for D as well. So as you can see that this is actually the branch lengths which are calculated from the evolutionary distances. So we have calculated it for everything. Next is pros and cons of UPGMA. The advantages is that it is fast and simple. Disadvantages assumes that same evolutionary speed on all lineages. So it is assuming that everything has evolved at the same speed, which is actually not the case in reality. So it's just an assumption. Then all leaves, that is the terminal nodes, have the same distance from the root node. In reality, the individual branches are very unlikely to have the same mutation rate. So this is exactly what the disadvantage of this method is. So we are a little behind the actual or the true phylogenetic tree. But it is one of the methods which is very fast and simple. It gives an idea about who is related to who, and we can get a rough idea of the phylogenetic tree in this case. Next is neighbor joining method. Neighbor joining method does not assume the taxa to be equidistant from the root. So this is actually solving the previous problem. It corrects for unequal evolutionary rates between sequences by using a conversion step. So again, we use agglomerative clustering here. Conversion step requires the calculations of R values and transformed R values. For this, we have some formulae. Formula for conversion of distances DAB dash, that is the new evolutionary distance, or the converted distance between A and B. Then DAB dash equals DAB minus half into RA plus RB. So where DAB dash is converted distance between A and B, DAB is the actual evolutionary distance between A and B, RA is the sum of distances of A, and RB is the sum of distances of B. So calculation of R values can be performed as below. We have a distance matrix. This is the initial matrix we considered. We are going to calculate RA and RB. So we are going to see RA is the sum of all distances from A. So we are calculating all the distances AB, AC, AD as RA. Similarly for RB, and then similarly for RC and RD. We are going to calculate it this ways. So in this we are going to use this formula and we'll calculate the corrected distances here. Okay. Before tree construction, all possible nodes are collapsed into a star tree. The pair of taxa with the shortest distances in the new matrix are separated from the star tree first according to the corrected distances. So this is the smallest distance here, minus 0.965. So first is a star tree and then we correct it to form a the normal tree. There are certain pros and cons of neighbor joining as well. The pros is advantages: it allows the use of an explicit model of evolution, a very clear model. It is also fast and simple. Disadvantages is it reduces all sequence information into a single distance value. This I will just give a light into this point in the next slide as well. It is strongly dependent on the model of evolution used. So it is very important that we use an appropriate model for calculating the distances actually. There are pros and cons of distance-based method. Advantages: it is very fast, only one tree is derived, topology and branch lengths are calculated, works with different substitution models of evolution. But there are certain disadvantages as well, which is very important because when we discuss these disadvantages, we can come to the character-based methods and how they are advantageous over distance-based methods. So disadvantages of distance-based methods are: it is not guaranteed to find the best tree. There is less guarantee to find the best tree. Discards the primary character data, that is actual sequence information is lost. So the very important thing in distance-based methods is that you are converting all the sequence information into distances, and the actual sequence information is getting lost during this process. So this is one of the major disadvantages of distance-based methods, and different sequences can yield the same matrix. So since you are converting all the information into distances, there is a possibility that there are different sequences which can give the same type of matrix, and same type of phylogenetic tree will be constructed subsequently. So that is why we have to consider the sequence information as well, and that can be done when we use character-based methods. We'll discuss about character-based methods in the next video. Thank you. Upcoming, we have a video on character-based methods. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe and share. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And for any queries and suggestions, please write to us at the given email address. Thank you.